There's a reason everyone hates meetings, right? If you have worked corporate or do any job where you have to meet with other people, it's a pain in the bum. Honestly, usually internal meetings. Why? And is that always the case? Are meetings just useless? We've all heard that most meetings can just be whittled down to an email and then you're done, right? So should we get rid of them all? And I think the answer to that is no. So I was very much on the camp of yes, get rid of all meetings. They're entirely unnecessary unless you are workshopping stuff together. Like, it's not a meeting, it's a work session. That's something different, right? But if it's a meeting to be like, oh, let's update each other and have a chat, they're just inefficient. You get off topic and it takes you away from your deep work, right? You also don't get the time to actually process the situation, and it gets emotional and confrontational sometimes, and no one likes that. What's got me talking about this today is because this morning I needed to impart some information to one of my closers, and it was just a set of instructions, really. Nothing different. Like, nothing to have a conversation about, not really much to learn. It's just, hey, instead of this action, we do this action. Cool. And demonstrated it. That could have worked in an email. Right, so most meetings are for, we need an action, or this is the set of things that we want. If a decision is to be made by mutual discussion, I think a meeting has its purpose. But if not, an email is much better of being like, I have a question, here it is. And then someone's got the time to actually think through and not make a rush decision, whatever that actually means, and respond appropriately. If there are many backwards and forwards, an email is a bit of a pain in the butt, right? Get in a room, sit down, backwards and forwards until you're done. And then you're done. Fantastic. Solicitors, if you are watching this, I am talking to you about that. There's no reason you can't get in a room, 2 solicitors, 2 clients, just get it fucking done. Anyway, sorry, back to this. So, emails are super useful for most tasks, right? Or Slack, instant team communication, whatever it is, are good enough for most communication within a company. And one up on that are video calls, or like, not video calls, Looms, video demonstrations. A Loom is a great example of one. If you don't want to pay for Loom, you can do it how I do it. Just join a meet by yourself, share your screen and record it with Fathom, which is free. And then just send them the link. Works exactly the same. And that is super, super useful. Now, the reason it's better than email is a couple. Because words are only as good as the other person is at reading them. And your ability to write. Intonation, we don't write down how things are said, right? It's not a script you're writing. It's not a play script. And so you can misread and misinterpret and misunderstand the written word, and so you have to be very careful about what you're saying. Because if you ask someone to write a set of instructions to butter toast, I guarantee you could give that to someone, they'd read it and end up with the knife held backwards around the edge of the bread. Like, there's lots of assumptions made on your base of knowledge. Now, a video is so much more helpful because you can actually show them what you need to do at the same time. And you can talk it through with the right intonation. You can say it multiple different ways faster than you are likely willing to be able to write. Now, it's actually slower than writing, slower than typing, if you are adequate at typing, but most people are not. We talk at about 155 words a minute, and most people type at about 40 to 60. If you are proficient, you can do better than talking, but it's unlikely for most people. So you can save a lot of time in your business. Get rid of your meetings. Do Loom videos instead. They're much more useful because people can look back at them. They can have them as a resource forever. And it makes the added bonus that you can make a resource back of videos. And being like, you had this problem, go watch this video I made before. Answers the question. Really handy. So, when are meetings super useful? We've already talked about decisions to be made or working sessions. The other one is just team morale. We neglected this, I think, at the start of our business, especially with the sales team, when we transitioned away from meetings, of like, it's nice just to see the people that you're working with and actually create that connection, because if there ever is a problem, like if you are not conscious of the other person, you haven't spoken with them in person a lot, we often blame situations that they might do or whatever without context, without enough context. And adding that human element can release tension. Now, I have a situation where my friends own a gym. They had numerical metrics issues with an employee, thought he wasn't doing much, flew home, got actually speaking with him again, and then they were like, oh no, you do stuff. Oh yeah, no, you do. I'm so sorry, we're actually keeping you. Anyway, months later, they ended up getting rid of him because what they had found was true. But in person, they had muddied it with emotions. And so it works if you are having that gripey feeling, but metrics they're doing fine, then meeting with people regularly instills that team camaraderie, which is really good. It's a requirement, really, if you want a long-term solution. So yeah, those are my thoughts. A lot of the stuff that we can do, you can just do with a video. It doesn't have to be like this. And it will save you a load of time. Hope that helps. Have a great one. Peace.